where everyone thrives. And this is a fairly fresh mission statement and vision with really the new focus on the second part of the mission statement around co-creating a community where everyone thrives. Food banking has been around for almost 40 years, but when we at Mid-Ohio Food Bank take a look at our business and business model and helping people in the community, we realize that it's an unsustainable model, and not a model that we want to sustain, not necessarily a model that the community wants to sustain, and not a model that people who are receiving food assistance want to sustain. People who receive food assistance don't want to continuously receive food assistance. And so we're working on activities to help people be able to go to the grocery store instead of having to go to Kroger. That's what everyone wants. And so we're really on the beginning stages of that work, and still trying to figure out really what that's going to look like. But Mid-Ohio Food Bank wants to be part of an effort to make sure that through education, job availability, living wages, that people are able to be self-sustainable. So it's an important part of our work. Mid-Ohio Food Bank, we serve 20 counties in central Ohio, so the contiguous counties here to Franklin, and then out to the east as well. We're one of 12 food banks in the state of Ohio. We're the largest in Ohio based on the number of people we serve and the geographic location. We have 22 trucks in a fleet that are running all over that area doing pickups and deliveries every day, on Sunday. And one thing in looking at a map like that, half of all the work we do is in Franklin County, meaning the number of pantries we work with, the people we serve, the poundage of food we distribute, again in Franklin County, and the other half, all the other 19 counties combined. So what we really do is source foods really from all over North America. Actually, we have clementines right now from Israel. And so I've been learning about the produce market in Israel, which is quite robust. And so we now source internationally to bring foods in. And then we have a 176,000 square foot warehouse in Grove City. And then we distribute those foods to 650 partner agencies in the community who then distribute it to low-income residents in our communities. Last year we distributed 58 million pounds of food. It's a lot. It's hard to kind of think of exactly how much that is. So we break that down a little bit, and that's enough food to provide 121,625 meals every day. So every day, that many meals is going out in our 20 counties that we serve. So a significant amount of food being moved through. Last year, we were able to serve 524,000 individuals in our community. To receive food assistance in the state of Ohio, you would be at 200% of the poverty level. In our service territory, there are 776,000 people who are at 200% of the federal poverty level or below, and we are able to serve 524,000 of those. Those that we're not serving, a lot of different reasons why that may be, but that was our reach last year. A few statistics about food insecurity. So in Ohio, 1 in 6 Ohioans are food insecure, meaning they don't know where their next meal may be coming from. And tragically, 1 in 4 children as well are food insecure. A few statistics that may not be what you think about food assistance. So almost half, 49% of the households we served had somebody in the home who had a paying job last year. So a lot of homes that we're serving have someone who's working, but that most likely there may not be enough hours, there may not be a living wage associated with that job, and so they still can't make ends meet, and they still can't afford to have all the food they need in the house, or the right foods in the house, and therefore they receive food assistance. I think the statistic is 9 out of the top 10 growing job fields do not pay a living wage in Ohio. And so there's a lot of people who are working who still can't make ends meet. We had an event last year where Governor Kasich was there, made it memorable, and a client was there and was talking to the governor, and he said, "Ma'am, do you need a job?" And she said, "Actually, Mr. Governor, I have 3 jobs, but they don't provide the hours or the wage that I need to make ends meet for my family." And so many of the people we serve are working and working hard and doing their best, just need some assistance. Only about 5% of the people we serve are homeless. We do provide food to soup kitchens and shelters, so we have some clients there. In regards to usage of pantries, 40% of the people we serve last year came just once to the pantry. Didn't come back to any pantry that we tracked. And then 78% utilized that pantry 5 times or less. And so even within the food bank, we've had thoughts of really chronic assistance, and there are people who come back more often than that. But the vast majority are people who just really run into an acute challenge. That's the second point. Most likely healthcare issues are the #1 thing that we hear about that creates either a loss of employment or increased expenses that they need assistance. Or that they just have an immediate need. So if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're just getting by, you run into, even if you need to start a school time and need school supplies and clothes, or something, the car breaks down, something like that, you may need to come that one time, like many people do, or just come a few times to a pantry to get through that challenge and then get back on track. And that's really what we're there to do, is help people be able to focus on the most important things in their life, not have to worry about where their food's going to come from, but focus on whether it's getting that resume completed, getting that job interview, taking care of the kids, the single mother who's able to parent with patience and love. Those kind of things are important, and you don't need to want to worry about food. It was one of our board members actually said, when you're at a table and there's a lot of food on the table, there's a lot to talk about. But when you're around the table and there's very little food, there's really only one thing to talk about, and that's what you're missing. So another big shift in food banking, a really significant shift in food banking that's really only about 4 years with food banking, is a big shift to fresh foods. And so at the food bank, Mid-Ohio Food Bank, 54% of all the food we distributed last year was fresh. So that's fresh fruits and vegetables, meat, dairy, bread, those kind of items. And then again, with an emphasis on fresh fruits and vegetables, like the Israeli clementines, we distributed 21 million pounds of fresh fruits and vegetables last year. And so we're really proud of that. There are economic models where we're able to source fresh fruits and vegetables, again, from all over the world. Our average right now is about 16 cents a pound to source those foods into us. Typically, the item is donated by the farmer or the broker, and then we pay a picking and packing fee to help that farmer get the product out of the field, and then we pay a transportation company and bring that into us, again, 16 cents a pound, where that may be, $3, $4 a pound at the store, and then we're able to distribute that. We also have a lot of great local retail partners, so we're blessed to have 2 Walmart distribution centers, a Target distribution center, the huge Kroger center up in Delaware, that provide retail product that sometimes before it even goes to the store, we're able to get that and distribute it. So we're very proud of that. It's the right food to people to eat, and we're able to source it at the right cost for the community. And one thing that we're branching even beyond just hunger is really the quality of foods that people eat. So you think about a very low-income family, and they go into the store with limited resources, and you need to feed your family. What are you going to buy? You're going to buy the thing that allows you to provide the quantity of food that your family needs. So that's the classic thought of the macaroni and cheese or whatever it may be. Produce is very expensive. Meat is just getting crazy expensive in the stores. And so Mid-Ohio Food Bank is able to source fruits and vegetables. We do have a significant meat program, and we make those available in the community to augment meals. And so we're very proud and working hard to be able to do that. In America, there's an estimated 14 billion pounds of fruits and vegetables that are grown each year that do not make it to market. And so we see that as a huge opportunity. All the food banks around the country last year sourced a little less than 2 billion pounds. So we're getting 2 billion pounds now out of 14 billion pounds that are available. And so a lot of opportunity for that. I mean, you think about, I think about kids, you think about a younger generation who, through this availability of fruits and vegetables, can create habits. I mean, our physician in the room to be can talk about how important habits are in anything, and certainly diet. As you get a younger demographic who develops habits around sourcing product, storing it at home, preparing the product, and eating it, and what kind of impact that would have in our community and our world moving forward when people are eating very nutrient-dense foods. versus what they may be eating now will be an important shift for all of us. Not all of our fruits and vegetables are that cute, but I had those. So another big shift for the food bank, we have developed a somewhat alternative but now mainstream distribution model, which we call produce markets. And so we work with partners in the community. It may be an existing pantry, it may even just be a community. There's a fire station who does a produce market for us in Ross County, and there's other types of community locations where we do the distribution as an event. So storage of fresh fruits and vegetables may be a challenge for some pantries, and this eliminates that completely. It's a distribution event. We work hard to have consistency of those. We like to do it twice a month in communities where neighbors know that this is available. We provide a single drop of 10,000 pounds of fruits and vegetables, which is typically about 10 varieties of items in the growing season, or some are a double drop of 20,000 pounds. That host location promotes it locally, and up to 300 families come through in a 2 to 3 hour period and take the fruits and vegetables that they want and that they can use, and it's become tremendously efficient. So we did 856 of those last year. Our goal for this year is to do 1,000 of those produce markets. It's really efficient for Mid-Ohio Food Bank. We don't touch the product much when it comes to us. It comes in huge gaylords or on pallets, and it goes right back out that way. And at the event, again, the clients come through and take the right product. So that's an exciting change for us in regards to distribution and for the product that's available in the community. We've done some surveying of produce market participants. They've indicated to us that they have increased, well, 94% of them have increased their fruits and vegetable consumption by 2.5 cups a day. That's pretty astounding, actually. That's actually more than the average person consumes in a day. This is the amount that individuals have increased their consumption. So we're excited about that and what that can do for health impacts and expenses in our community. So again, the work that we do for Cynthia on the left, who has a master's degree in human resources but has 2 bouts of cancer that has challenged her in needing assistance. Kimberly, Stephen's grandmother, who moved into care for her daughter, who lost her vision to diabetes and challenges in that home. You met Pat. John's a whiz under the hood but can't find enough work to make things steady in his home. And then James, a Marine Corps veteran, diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, also challenged to work, but volunteers at the produce market to help his neighbors. So, these are the people that are being impacted by our work. So I want to shift a little bit to a campaign that we do in the community to support the food bank and the work that we do. It's called Operation Feed. It's been around for 34 years in our community. It was actually the original name of Mid-Ohio Food Bank. A lot of companies participate, 200 companies, about 250,000 employees. Anyone here have an Operation Feed campaign where they are or familiar with it? Great. Awesome. Thank you. And it's something that it's done in the spring. Originally it was managed by United Way. It was set up to kind of yin United Way's yang a little bit in regards to the time of the year that it is. And we work with companies for a variety of activities and ways that they can participate, whatever fits best for that workplace. And with Operation Feed, we are launching this year a brand new campaign where we want to promote the generosity and support of our partners. And when we were looking at where there was a lot of support and a lot of generosity, Dublin really rose to the top, and I'm sure you're not surprised at all. And so this year, starting soon and running a bit into April and May and into June, you may see some promotion within the Dublin area around Dublin Fights Hunger and around Operation Feed. So what we're trying to do here again is recognize the partners that we have with Operation Feed. We want to raise awareness about the issue of hunger. We want to inspire people who have a campaign at their workplace, so when they leave the workplace, they'll see Operation Feed and Dublin Fights Hunger in the community and hopefully support their interest in being supportive of Mid-Ohio Food Bank. We're going to be doing a bit of recruitment and asking new partners to be a part of it. And we have special considerations and have been having conversations with folks at the Dublin Food Pantry so that any non-perishable food items that are donated, so food drives that are held, all those foods will go directly to the Dublin Food Pantry, where traditionally and historically that would have gone back to the food bank and into our system and into its typical distribution method, but we want to get everything that's collected locally to stay locally. So we're excited about that. We have a lot of great partners with our program and some of the big companies that are in town and small companies as well. It really fits about anyone's culture to participate. And so I would ask you to consider it. Operation Feed, a lot of companies do it for the employee engagement aspect. I mean, doing something fun at work, helping their employees feel good and engaged about their workplace and things that go on there. Some companies use it as a leadership training and engagement opportunity, and then just the community support opportunity that exists as well. I would ask, and I don't know if it'll work for shout outs, but as we try to engage the community and get people to raise awareness and see if there's an opportunity for their support. Anyone got tips on anything we should do, people we should talk to about engaging the community? I asked it this way about what's it take to create a movement. Just so if anyone's having thoughts, and we've spoken to folks at the city, the Chamber of Commerce, we're doing these kind of things and doing addresses. We'll try to work with the schools if there's an interest there, but I was just curious if anyone had a thought of something that would help us have a presence in the community around Dublin Fights Hunger and Mid-Ohio Food Bank.
You could come to the Barney Bash tomorrow and bring one of your food trucks.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. Yeah, actually, we did investigate being a part of the parade and putting the food bank truck in there, and we ended up actually not having trucks. The trucks are out and doing deliveries, and so I went to operations and I said, we don't have a truck for you, but it was something we considered, but I will consider.
Next year.
Yes, thank you.
Leadership Dublin, which may have been discussed in Chipman, and then also our Interact Club, where we get the kids involved.
Okay. Thank you.
All the people you just mentioned are all in this room. Superintendent, council members, chamber, we're all here. So keep engaged with us.
Okay, I appreciate that. I've got some business cards if anyone wants to talk more, or you may end up hearing from us. So again, I appreciate it. We're trying to do it the right way and have conversations and making sure that we're communicating our efforts and being respectful to current activities and operations that are going on. So we just greatly appreciate the support. And I'll just make some other comments about the food bank as a whole. Has anyone been to the food bank in Grove City? Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you. So I would encourage people to do that. If people who raise their hand, they might agree. We get so many people who visit, and their typical response is, I had no idea. It's a big place. It's 204,000 square feet. There's a lot that goes on there. It's a pretty modern building, and that we just went in and refurbished it to a LEED Gold certified building 5 years ago. So it's a great place to visit. We have tremendous volunteer opportunities. We have about 13,000 volunteers that come through every year. And so you can go to our website and find really good information to tell you by day, at what time, what project is going to be done, how many people we need. And you can sign up to do a small group or individual or family to volunteer, kids 13 and older. So encourage that. We have meeting spaces available. We actually have what I call a ballroom that seats 300 people at round tables, about 400 in theater style, and then some other smaller breakout rooms. It's a neat place to hold a meeting. Some people do a meeting and then a volunteer activity as well. We have a speakers bureau, so if there's an opportunity, something like this, or we have another group or entity where we could speak, we could do that. And we have special programs where people can support some of the produce markets that are going on in the community as well. So we encourage you to reach out to us if there's an opportunity to connect. So again, I just want to thank you very much for all you do, for your attentiveness, for your support, for the people who volunteered and supported the food bank and any kind of feeding program in the past. We greatly appreciate it. And if anyone would ever want to reach out to me, you can do that through that fuzzy font right there. So, thanks. Any questions?
What is your operating budget